Hi everyone, welcome to the fundamental tutorial of DC Suite. In this video, you're going to learn about the interface and operation of the program, and then we will go through the basic workflow of how a 3D garment is created with a simple t-shirt. This is the first entrance of the program. There are 4 options to open the project. New project is to create an empty file. It is used to start making a project from the beginning. Open file is to open project files which are already saved on your computer. And with the recent file, there are 3 latest used projects listed here, which you can quickly open them. The last one is sample project. It is a pro-created garment. All the setup and setting has been done, so you can play around it when you don't have any garments on your hands. Now I'm going to open the practice file of this session to start with the learning of this time. There are 2 setting windows up here. The first one is project setting. The main thing here is about general setting. Usually you can just keep it as default. And the other is avatar setting, which for you to select or cancel the using of avatar. When you uncheck the checkbox and press apply, avatar will be removed. About grading tab, we can just know it is here so far, and it will come with a full introduction with future release tutorial. Then let's check about program setting. There are also 3 tabs here. The first tab is general setting. Often used settings here are unit. You can change between centimeter or inch as your preference. And menu language. Also font and mark size could be adjusted here. The second page is for customized mark color. And the last page is to customize your menu icon. There are 2 big windows as the main workspace. The left one is the 2D window. All the works with pattern will happen here. The right one is 3D windows. It is the workspace to do 3D creation. The design of them are pretty similar, so let's start from 2D window first. From the top, there's a drop-down menu. You can find the function by going to different categories. And you can also find the shortcut keys is listed beside function name. And under the drop-down menu, there is a line of icons as the shortcuts of often used functions. All of them are selected from drop-down menu as well. When the mouse is hovering on the icon, the function name will be shown. On the left of the window, there is a manipulation toolbar. It is recommended to understand this as icons by grouping. The first group is mouse manipulation. You can switch the use of mouse between select, translation, and rotation. The second group is change of view. Restore view is to bring the view to starting point of the coordination. And the next 2 is to fit your window to all the patterns or only selected patterns. And the third group is snap and build. These 2 are used for working with pattern making. The introduction of them were included in feature pattern making practice section. Selection mode is switching between normal selection and vertex selection. About vertex, we will explain that when we get more into 3D manipulation and simulation. The next group is to enable and disable the target can be selected in the windows. The target can be selected in 2D window including points, lines, panel, dot, and scene. When the icon is shown in yellow, it means the selection of the target is turned on. If it is turned off, for example, let's turn off line selection. Then the icon will show in gray, and the selection of line in 2D window couldn't be done. With 3D window, it's almost the same. On the top is drop-down menu, and under it is icon menu. On the left-hand side, it is manipulation toolbar. From the top is mouse work, changing view, and selection mode, and the next is enable and disable selectable target. We will learn about how to use them with practice more and more. After introduction of layout with DC window, let's get to know how to control it with your mouse. A click of left key of your mouse in both windows is to select, and a click of right click is to bring the toolbox and menu out. Which will be shown is depend on which mode and tool you are used. And with the ruler, you can zoom in and out by scrolling it, no matter it is in 2D and 3D. If you keep pressing the ruler key, the view can be moved. In 2D window, if you use right click to do box selection, it will bring you to the view to fix the box you just made, which is the way you can zoom in very quickly to the target. In 3D window, pressing the right key, and don't lose it, you will be able to turning the view of your view angle. Following, we are going to know about three-side windows. From the top, the first one called Property Editor. When the thing is selected, like point, line, panel, or scene, property of it will appear here. In Attribute tab, it is more about information and parameter setting can be added or adjusted. In Sprite Editor tab, it is about the use of material like fabric, stitches, or button. How to use is related to the target you are selected, like point should be used with button, line will be used with stitches, and panel will be used with fabric. The next window is Sprite Browser. It is a window to bring design element we mentioned, such like fabric, button, and stitches into DC Suite. And the image format can be imported, included JPEG and PNG file. The last one is Layer Browser. It is made as 2D and 3D separately. You can use it to organize 2D and 3D works by adding a layer and put the stuff inside. The eyes icon in front of each layer name is enable and disable the show of the layer. And by double-clicking the layer name, you can rename it. The next, we're going to start it with basic workflow. In the beginning, let's start it as a new project. The first step is to bring your pattern into 2D window. The path is from File, Import DXF file. For this exercise, please choose the DX file in practice file we give you for this time. The use you need is automatically detected by DXF file importer. And DC Suite has full capability to read DXF file in AAMA and ASTM format. With file in this format, pattern are able to convert it into panel directly. In 2D window, each square is 10 cm. It is easy for you to judge whether pattern be imported in right scale. Or you can turn on the show of line measurement to check the length of contour by shortcut key Shift and M. This can also be found in Show drop-down menu. Let's get to know about 2D information in DC Suite first. Points and lines can only form a sketch of the pattern. However, if they are not turned into panel, they couldn't be brought into 3D environment to use. Panel is shown with a gray ground color. The condition for turning sketch to panel needs line to form a completely closed contour. With curved line, there's control point that shape the curve. You can enable and disable the show of it from drop-down menu, or use shortcut key Shift and D. By moving control point or reduce amount of it on the line, it is able to edit the shape of curved line. Now let's get back to pattern we just import. Usually the first step is to clean the pattern, because in DC Suite, contour of pattern should be stitched together one by one. Therefore, line arrangement should be as the same as how it will be stitches. This will be explained in how to set up pattern with the next video. And the next step is to bring avatar in 3D windows. If you have 3D model in OBJ or FBX format, you can import them from File. There's OBJ and FBX importer here. And if you're going to use DC Suite built-in avatar, the path is from Setting, Project Setting, and Avatar tab. By select the checkbox, choose an avatar you would like to use, and click Apply to bring them into 3D window. You might notice there are two collections of avatar. Firstly, I will try with Jen to show the difference. Once avatar get into 3D window, you can go to Avatar drop-down menu to find Avatar Editor and open it. Jen and Joe are the first version of DC Suite Avatar, so they have more avatar function to use with, such as changing measurement and looks. And next we're going to talk about the new avatar collection. With this exercise, we're going to make a male t-shirt. So let's select Thomas for first. After it is brought into 3D window, you might find the appearance of it is more polished. When Thomas and Giselle was made, their body shape is referenced to runway model. So the use of this collection is also good for fashionable clothing. And with technical perspective, they are made following the new policy of underdeveloped body surveys. Due to the policy change, they are not working with all avatar function at this stage, but you can still use different animation with them and also view their measurement from here. Now let's get back to 2D and 3D window. You will see two body silhouettes here. The left one is the front of the avatar, and the right one is the back of it. Before pattern is brought into 3D, the front and back panel should be placed on the right side. Once arrangement of panel is done in 2D, you can select the panel you want to bring into 3D and bring them into 3D by this icon. For back panel, it should be assigned as back position side in attribute window. And to correct it, you can bring it into 3D again from the same icon. Then it will be placed on the back on the body. Now, after all the pattern are brought into 3D and being on the right position on the body, we can start with 3D arrangement. Let's go to Manipulation bar in 3D and get Cylinder on. Cylinder is an assistant function you can attach panel on surface of it. We can decide which cylinder to use for the garment by going into 3D layer setting here and Cylinder tab and cancel those parts we don't need it. With this t-shirt, only body and sleeves are needed, and then close the window. The use of cylinder is one click of the panel and one click on the cylinder. Then you will see panel is attached onto it. If you want to change the position of the panel, you can press the left click of your mouse and don't let go. You will find it's easily to moving it on the cylinder surface. Sometimes when panel is attached on the wrong position by misselection, my tip to fix it is press ESC key to cancel all the selection in case there are multiple panels are selected, and then reselect the panel to click the right cylinder it should be placed onto, and then move in a little bit to get it to the right position. And after cylinder, there's another tool in Attribute window can help us arrange panel on body surface as well. It is in Attribute window called Manual Wrap. It gives us more flexibility to wrap the panel. So let's do it together. Ratio is for changing the shape it is wrapped. And uncheck this checkbox. Top and bottom can be wrapped in different proportion. This is made for some pattern that the top and the bottoms is in different scale. For example, a shirt sleeve. And reverse is wrapped to another side. And snail is used when panel wrapped need to be overlaid to each other, like a curve of sleeve. You can change the direction how it be wrapped by snail. And this style is rather simple, so let's finish the rest of arrangement by cylinder first. Okay, and it's finished. And I want to give some supplemental instruction about how the panel is wrapping on cylinder or with a manual wrap. It is controlled by manual access. By going into Show in 2D window and click Wrapping Access, the mark of it will show some panel. It's like a direction. And if you found your pattern wrapping on cylinder wrong, then you can use this to adjust the direction of it. It is in Attribute window and find the name of it. When you try to adjust the angle of it, you will find how it is wrapped change in 3D. Okay, so far it's about what 3D arrangement is in the preparation stage. At this stage, the principle is to use panel to cover the body, and not to make body penetrate out of the panel and thin gray surface. About seam, it is the next action we will do in the next practice. With this exercise, let's use with merging seam. Seam is a function work in both 2D and 3D window, so you can find the drop-down menu here and here. You can choose where to work on it with your preference. My habit is to do most of that part in 2D, because it's really easy to see which line and panels I'm working on clearly. By selecting two lines to be seen together, you will see they are marked as blue with a swing mark. By pressing Enter key, seam between these two lines will be finalized. Let's select another pair of seam. Before it is finished, you can use Space key to change the direction they should be stitched. And also with right click of your mouse, to bring out the toolbox, there's a button called Toggle for you to switch the direction. All the function with the changing direction could be worked like this. And then with some line crossing the front and back, like shoulder line or collar, it may be more easy to do the selection of scene in 3D. To work it in 3D is pretty similar. To find merging line scene in menu first, then select to line. Before it is finalized, scene surface shows in orange. You can change direction of it by space key. When it is finalized, it shows in gray. If you want to delete a scene after it is finalized, just select it and press delete key. And sometimes we will find the direction is wrong on finalizing. By selecting it and check the attribute window, there is also the toggle button to adjust it, like this. After this is introduction about how to use scene, let's finish the rest part of it. When I'm doing scene for the color part, I found this color is placed in the wrong position. It actually should be placed from the front. So I'm going to use cylinder to fix the position of it, then continue with the scene. Color is a tricky part when we do scene usually because it goes around the neck, and for example with the back color, we need to be careful with the direction of its starting point and the end point. So here if the center back point is seen together, the scene surface need to be looks like a little bit twisted. So by selecting the scene surface, you can go to attribute window to fix the direction of it. When all the scenes are finished, you can go into your 2D window to check your pattern silhouette. The line have been seen before will mark as the pink. So it is a way you can check whether there's any contour or line is missing with the stitches. If all scenes are already being made, then we can check in 3D window. The rules here is that body shouldn't penetrate from the same surface. So for example, like this, we can adjust the position of panel and make sure all the panel and scene surface is completely cover the body. In that stage, it means our preparation work already done and we can start with simulation. After scene, we're going to talk about simulation. We won't jump too deep in this exercise, just one point to highlight here. You can find the drafting menu here. In DC3, there are two ways of simulation. The first one is static play. With this one, garment will be simulated, but the animation of avatar won't be played when you use it, just like this. And you can also find static play in icon menu here. And the other kind of simulation called dynamic play. You can find it right beside static play. During a simulation, avatar will move when garment is being simulated. When you use it, you can find their small box is moving here. It is the frame of use animation. If you turn on this, In Cache drop-down menu, it's called Enable Cache. You can find the path with this little yellow box passing by is turned to gray. When simulation is paused, you can go back to the simulation process by dragging the yellow box. There's no specific rule to use simulation, but I can give my tips here is to use static play first. If garment is well constructed with the right setting we just did previously, like arrangement and scene, then turn on dynamic play and let avatar move with motion so your garment can be simulated to the pose you want it to be displayed. And sometimes when you turn on simulation, you might find your garment is not constructed well. Usually, it is caused from the scene was set in reverse direction, or panel is not arranged well in 3D initially. With this kind of situation, just pause your simulation first. And then there are two ways to do the adjustment. One way is select a panel and press right-click. There is a function called Reset Panel. It is to bring it to initial status alone. And if you want to start over with the whole garment, here is a reset button just nearby simulation, and the whole garment will be reset. You can adjust the panel or adjust the scene, and then resimulate it. And the last of introduction for simulation, I have a reminder for you that when your garment is simulated, but you're going to use other function, remember to pause simulation first. Otherwise, when you do other manipulation during simulation is on, you might find the motion is not smooth and the loading for your computer is a little bit heavy. Now the shape of garment is well constructed. The rest of work is to use fabric and stitches on it and bring it to life. The using of fabric, the first step is bringing to the program. In Sprite Browser, we can find the add icon here, and you can add an image into it. Then we can select a panel to use fabric and get into Sprite Editor of it. Double-click with the image you just import. And the next is to adjust the size of fabric. Tiling here means the repeat times in 100 centimeter in horizontal and vertical direction. So X is horizontal and Y is in vertical. If this unit of fabric in actual size should be 5 by 5 centimeter, then tiling here should set as 20 and 20 because 5 will repeat 20 times in 100 centimeter. And if the size of this unit should be 20 by 20 centimeter, then tiling here should be set as 5 by 5. And beside from this, there's another way to use fabric in DC Suite. With this time practice file, we give you the zip file. It is the fabric folder we download from our Scanetic for Fashion website. If you have subscribed our fabric service, you will be able to use Fabric Scanner to digitalize your fabric. And after the fabric is scanned, you can download it from Scanetic for Fashion website and use it in DC Suite. Let's try with the practice file today. By selecting the panel, there's an import button in Sprite Browser. It's here. And select the fabric folder and press import. The whole fabric set will bring into 3D and the scale of it is already be converted. You can use it directly without extra adjustment. After fabric, let's try with using stitch. Using stitch is pretty similar. Let's go into Sprite browser, the stitch tab. It's the same in add icon. There's some preset to use. You can choose one to bring it into DC Suite. And by selecting a line, go to Sprite editor of it and double click the stitch you just bring into. Then you will see these stitches is applied on this line. Then we need to adjust the size of this unit. For example, we can set the width as 0.05 and depth as 0.25. You can see the stitches is performing at the edge here. And then if I want to have some distance from the edge, you can choose the offset here. So for example, I give here 1.5 centimeter. Then this stitches is moving away from the edge 1.5 centimeter. And before you starting to play with the stitches and fabric, there is a shortcut key for you. For those fabric or stitch you have created, you can use Alt key and C to copy them, and use Alt and V to paste it on other targets like a panel or line. So it will be really easy for you to finish your style by copy and pasting. No matter it is with a stitch or fabric, you can use the same shortcut. And let's use the fabric on every panel to make this style complete. And when your style is complete, don't forget to get into Show menu and disable the show of line and points to make it as a clear view for your final works. In the end, when the project is finished, you can save it as a project file. We called it DCP file. The path is File and Save As. Aside from garment, avatar, and the whole project setting will be saved accordingly. If we renew this program here and open the file we just saved, everything is saved and restored to your view. And there is another format to save a garment. It is called Layer 5. The path is File, Export, Layer 5. With this format, only garment and used material be saved, and it can be imported into any project file independently. Let's try with renewing the project again and import it. The path is File, Import, Layer 5. Only garment is bring into 3D as you see. It is often used when two garments is prepared separately in the beginning and then needed to be used together in the same project. Now here comes to the end of this video. To throw back what we have just learned with the basic workflow, you are welcome to rewatch them with the timestamp. I hope you enjoyed this video, and for more tutorial, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next one.